Hello, my super awesome online tech crazy friends working from home. Here we are. For my friends who do not remember me, I am Mr. Ray, and I will be your cruise director on our ship of awesome as we explore technology. So let's dive right in, my friends. Before we do anything, I want to make sure that we always understand we know technology when we see it. So we conduct two basic tests. We ask ourselves, test number one, can I turn this thing on and off? And then test numero dos is I want to see if it uses some type of power. That doesn't always have to be electricity, it can also be something else. So with that in mind, let's dive right in and look right here. Is this tech? Well, let's do our questions. Can we turn that on and off? You bet. Does it use some kind of power? Not electricity, but it will use diesel. So, ding, 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 that is totally technology. That big old truck's technology. How about this moo cow? I think it has a Guernsey cow. Is that technology? Can't turn the cow on and off, can't plug the cow into the wall, can't fill it with batteries, so womp womp, not technology. The cow is not technology. How about this sleek super fighter jet? Is that technology? You betcha. Ding, ding, ding. We can turn it on and off. It uses many different types of fuel. It has electronic components, but mostly jet fuel, so it flies very fast. And the Minions' favorite, the banana, is this technology? Cannot turn it on and off, can't plug it into the wall, can't fill it with jet fuel or diesel, so our answer is womp womp, not technology. Not technology. The useful, versatile shop vac, is that technology? We can turn it on and off, plug it into the wall, ding, ding, ding. That is rockin' technology. Now, how about one of my personal favorites, the thumbs up? The thumbs up, while awesome, womp womp, not technology. We cannot turn our thumbs up on and off. We cannot plug our thumbs up into the wall. We can't give it batteries or anything, that sort of thing. So not technology. This fancy looking digital clock, do we think this is technology? Can we turn this clock on and off? Can we plug this clock into the wall? Ding, ding, ding. That clock is technology. Is technology. All right, so we got our brains warmed up here a little bit. So let's look at our skills to pay the bills. Specifically, we're going to use, well, you guys tell me, what is this thing called? Hopefully everyone shouts out, the mouse. Therefore, we will be mousing around. As we have before, my awesome super tech friends and their parents, we want to go to bomomo.com. This is a wonderful place for us to work on our mousing skills. So we want to open up a browser. Almost any browser will do, and go to www.bomomo.com. www.bomomo.com. Let's spend some time working on this and seeing about our mouse skills. Here we're going to have a chance to work with our mouse. Look at my arrow here as I move it around. Those little bubbles follow my arrow. If I go outside of the box, they don't follow. I have to be inside of the box and they come to my arrow. Watch what happens. I'm going to press the left button on my mouse and hold it down. And now watch what happens. Those bubbles follow my mouse and they make some pretty cool lines. Now let's see what happens when my mouse moves fast. Those lines get thick and we make some cool looking stuff. Very cool, very cool. Guys, I'm going to count down from 5, so you have plenty of time to pause the video. Take your time with Bomomo. We're not in any kind of rush. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and moving on. Next, I want us to rock out some work with sketch.io. I won't play the little video because I think you guys have this down. So mom and dad, we want to go to www.sketch.io, and this is a wonderful chance again to work on our manual dexterity, those fine motor skills that we need in order to use the mouse with confidence and to use it effectively. I'm going to go ahead and count down from 5 as I usually do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause the video if you need to really take some time and explore. A few minutes would be great. Draw some neat stuff, but here we are now moving on. Usual kind of excitement that way. So on to the next part of our skills to pay the bills. That is typing, also known as, any of my friends want to shout it out? When we say typing, we can also say, yes, we're going to say keyboarding. Keyboarding, because we are inputting data on the keyboard. I want to talk a little bit about it a second for these different apps that we see. These apps are programs. We'll talk about those a little bit later. So right now, if you have not yet opened the one we need, we want to use Microsoft Word. Or if you don't have Word, we can also use Google Docs. That is a free option. That's great. No worries for either one. So let's go ahead and get that opened. Hopefully you have. I'm going to count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you don't need a pause, and let's dive right in. Something we haven't talked about before is a very, very important, useful thing, and that is the space bar. That is the long, horizontal, narrow bar on the bottom row of your keyboard. Let's look at the space bar in action. If I type the letters A, B, C, and D, I'm going to type them next to each other. So first we have our cursor. That little blinking light is where our letters are going to be A, B, C, D. Notice how they are really, really smushed up against each other. But now I'm going to type them a little differently. A space, B space, C space, think where I'm going with this, and D. Notice the letters are not scrunched together. When I pressed a letter, then I would press the space bar, and that moved this line over and over and over and over. So what I would like you to do, go ahead and type A space, B space, and then D space, just like I have here on the screen. I'm going to count down from 5, give you all the time in the world that you need. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and we're moving on. So we've done the space bar. Now a lot of you guys may know this one, but if you don't, that's totally cool. That's why I'm here to teach you stuff. The backspace button, the backspace button. So the backspace button is from when we've inadvertently made an error. So let's look here. So we have our spaced letters, A, B, C, and D, and then E, and then F, and what comes next? Of course, well, it's probably not M. So A, B, C, D, E, F, M, no. So we press the backspace button to correct that. You press this button and it makes this line, our cursor, jump back and erase the mistake, and then you can fix it. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Use the backspace button to erase some of the letters you have already typed. I'm going to count down from 5, my friends, like we usually do. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving on. Let's use the space bar, and as part of our warm-up, go ahead and type all 32 letters of the alphabet. And that pause is hopefully you guys yelling at the screen. No, there are not 32 letters in the alphabet. There are 26. You guys are so right, I can't get anything by you. So go ahead and type all 26 letters of the alphabet using the space bar. And if you make a mistake, use the backspace button and we will rock and roll from there. I'm going to count down from 5 before moving on to our next slide. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully you typed all 26, letters of the alphabet. Now I would like you to type your name, type your first and last name using the space bar, I'm going to count down from 5, so you have all the time you need in the world, guys. We are not in any kind of rush. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very exciting. Let's go ahead. I want us to practice these words. We typed them last week, so a lot of these will be familiar, but I want you to become increasingly familiar with them. So now I would like you to type the word sock. S-O-C-K. I'm going to count down from 5 like I usually do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take all the time you need, my friends, and let's move on. Now I would like you to type the word bulb. B-U-L-B. Take all the time we need to go ahead and pause. B-U-L-B. B-U-L-B. Light bulb, that is your idea. All right, pause if you need to, but we will move on. Next, for our data input, we are going to type the word ball, B-A-L-L. Again, be aware, the B can be a tricky boo. Notice which way this B is facing. When you type that letter on your keyboard, make sure it matches the one that we have here. Take some more time if you need, but we're going to go ahead and move on, pause it, and then come on back to us. The next word we're going to rock and roll is fan. Input data. Type the word fan. F-A-N. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Pause it if you need to, but moving on from there. Next, I want you to type the word blue, the word of the color blue, however you want to describe it. That tricky guy there, the B, B-L-U-N-E. Pause if you need to. No rush, but we'll zip right on through here, my friends. And now we will type the letter red, inputting data, R-E-D, red, R-E-D, typing the letter red. I'm going to count down from 3. If you need to pause it, no worries. So 3, 2, 1. And our next color, we know it, we love it, we live it. It is the color yellow. Yeller. Y-E-L-L-O-W. Sometimes those L's, depending on your keyboard, can be a little bit tricky. And remember, there's 2 L's. There's 2 of our L's. Y-E-L-L-O-W. I'm going to count down from 3 so we can rock and roll here in a little bit. So 3, 2, 1, and we're moving on. Next super fun color, type green. It's not easy being green. Our friend Kermit the Frog would tell us. So go ahead and type green, G-R-E-E-N. Remember, there are the 2 E's. The G can be a little bit of a tricky boo. It's in the middle there, but on some keyboards, it looks rather squiggly. Give yourself all the time you need to go ahead and do this. Typing G-R-E-E-N. And moving on, I'll count down from 3 if you need the extra time. So 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to type purple. It looks more purple on this video than it did on our last one, so that's way better. So P-U-R-P-L-E. Go ahead and take your time. The P can be a little bit tricky too. Sometimes it can be confused with the letter Q. Notice when you type it, make sure it looks just like this one. Specifically, make sure it's facing inward, facing into the rest of the word that way. I'm going to count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1. And our new adventure. So we see these apps, these programs again. Before we worked with Word. Now we're going to work with this guy in the middle. We're going to work with Excel. We're going to work with Microsoft Excel. This is what's called a spreadsheet program. Let's find out what that actually means. Super awesome typing texters. You are now going to start your journey on being data maestros. Data, as we know, is information. We talked about that earlier, and there's a reason for it. This is the Microsoft Office app Excel. We've talked about Word. We've worked with PowerPoint. You see some other ones as well. And Excel is a lot of fun. I think you might even find it excellent. Ha, ha, ha. Another dad joke, for which I really feel the need to apologize. So there we are. Moving on from there. Excel, as I said, is a great way to manage data. We know that data is information. Here is one way that we use it all the time. This is one of the rosters for our classes. We see our students listed, who is their teacher, their grade, their class. Great way for us to see a roster. It's a great way to organize information so that we're able to access it pretty easily. We've organized this one based on this general info. Excel, however, is not just for making fancy looking lists. Its real purpose is dealing with numbers. We'll talk about these sheets later on. So let's say we had a factory. And we had machines. Our machines don't need fancy names, although it's usually nice. So I have machine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I want to know the number of widgets, which is just a fictitious product, that was produced by each machine. In this case, it was 15, 22, 19, going all down our list. If I'm running a factory, I need to know how many widgets actually got made. So here is my total. The great thing about Excel is that It is not just a way to show the information, it will actually add it for you. So watch what happens if I realize, well, machine 5 didn't have such a bad day. Machine 5 didn't just make 2 units, machine 5 made 22 units. So look down here at 265. When I hit enter, watch what happens to, 625. Watch what happens when I hit enter. It adjusted it. It made a change. If I say machine number 12 didn't do 14, it had a lousy day. Machine 12 is the one that only produced 2 widgets. Watch what happens when I hit enter. Bam! It changed my total. This is a fantastic tool we're going to learn a bit more about. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So if you've not yet had the chance, go ahead and open up Microsoft Excel, or Google has their own version. Google has their own spreadsheet program. Any spreadsheet program will work. And let's go ahead. I want to take a minute. We're going to talk about the basic components of Excel, of a spreadsheet program. What are its basic parts? The first thing for us to focus on in Excel is understanding what the basic components are. The first one is the word cell. It's not really coincidence they named it Excel because they were trying to be clever. So a cell is, well, I think what you'd imagine it. Think of like a prison cell. It's a place where you are trapped. You can put a lot of things in, not necessarily evil, bad people, but in this case, information. So every one of these little boxes is a cell, and they are each self-contained. So I'm going to go to my first cell here, and watch what happens when I type my name. Okay, now it looks like my name went over this first cell and went over into that one. Here's something fun to watch. Watch what happens when I click on the cell that's next to the first one, and I'm going to type my name again. Check out what happened. My last name looks like it disappeared from the first one. It actually didn't, because it has the information trapped. I'm going to click. Watch, I click on this first cell. You see my whole name, Raymond Marker. Click on the second cell. Watch what happens when I click on this third cell. I'm just going to hold down the letter R. Actually, let's change it up. I'm going to hold down the letter T. T off the screen. It looks like, oh my gosh, I erased my last name, but I actually didn't. I'm going to click on this cell. There's my name. Watch what happens when I click on this fourth cell. I'm going to change the letter. This time, let's go with the letter F. And look like I'm erasing all those T's, but I'm actually not. All those T's are still right there. See how we have them listed up here? That's our information. And then I'm going to click over here, and then I'll click on my name. So every one of these rectangular boxes is its each own individual cell. And it's a good way to think of it as its each own individual box. Anything you type in all that gibberish is trapped in that box and cell. I can go to this next guy, and I have a new box. Kind of neat. This is an important way to understand. Every one of these cells is its own container. It is its own box. Okay, so let's go ahead and put your new knowledge to work. Let's put it to the test. So let's see. I want you to type your name in different cells. So notice here we have John Anton Humperdinck. So I want you to do the same thing. Type your first name in one cell, your middle name in a second, and then your last name in another cell. Each cell controls and contains one of your names, contains that data. Definitely take your time with this, and let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to count down from 5 before we go to our next slide. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's go ahead and move on. And that was a little too far. So let me come on back here a little bit. So we're going to talk about our columns. Columns, when they are used in a building, are just like these. They go up and down. They hold up a building and a roof. In this case, then, our columns are stacks of our cells going up and down. Our columns are a stack of cells. Notice our columns are also lettered. A, B, C, and D. And it'll go on actually much farther than that. So when our columns are going up and down, when our cells are going up and down, those are our columns. What I'd like you to do, show me how well you can rock that. Let's go ahead and stack your name. I want your name in column B. First name on top of your middle name on top of your last name. Let's go ahead and give that a try. I'm going to count down from 5 again. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's go ahead and move on. Pause it if you need to, guys. We're not in any kind of rush. The last thing I want us to do, friends, our last component, are called rows. So we know that each of these individual boxes are called cells. When we stack the cells on top of each other, going up and down, they are called columns. When our cells go side to side, they are called rows. Rows go across, but they're also numbered. Look, row 1, row 2, row 7, row 8. Think of it this way. Whenever you go to like a sporting event or you're at church, in a movie theater, all of those seats, what do we call them? We call them rows of seats because they go side to side. So let's review our basic parts of Excel here, friends. We have cells, columns, and rows. Go ahead and experiment a bit with Excel, and we're going to do some more cool stuff with that going forward. And I hope to see some of you guys at our face-to-face sessions over Zoom, either me or Mr. G, and let's get at it then.